Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we explored the remainder of Sevii Island, finishing out the base Sevii Islands. We've seen everything there is to see there now. Or did we? We're here in Vermilion City because this is where we need to go to activate this. Before doing anything, I want to show you something. This is the Mystic Ticket. A ticket required to board the ship to Navel Rock. It glows with a mystic light. The Mystic Ticket is an event item that you would get through Mystery Gift. It was distributed during various Pokemon-related events in Japan, the United States of America, and Mexico. In Japan, it was distributed at several Pokemon Festa events from July to August 2004, and again from December 2006 to January 2007. In the United States, the ticket was first distributed at the Nintendo World Store on May 14th, 2005 in New York City, and then again during the Pokemon Rocks America 2005 tour from September 17 to October 22nd, 2005. In Mexico, it was distributed a single time during the Electronic Game Show from October 21st to October 23rd, 2005. This was the last known distribution of the item. Well, no, it's not. The last known distribution of the item was the one in Japan from 2006 to 2007, which is really late considering, like, Diamond and Pearl were about to come out at that point, but whatever. That's not the point here. Let's be frank. Hello, I'm Frank. It sucks ass that this item was locked behind timed events. This is still technically legitimately obtainable. Distribution cartridges for it have been dumped online, and it's possible to send it to your copy of FireRed and LeafGreen using a flash cart and 2 GBAs and wireless adapters. It's also possible that you just have this on an old copy of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen if you were at those events. This is also technically available in Pokemon Emerald, so you could have it in that too. But chances are you were not there for those events, considering how long ago they were and how relatively small they were, especially considering Pokemon was not... I mean, it wasn't, like, unpopular, but Generation 3 was not, like, its height at all. Anyway, with that gone over, we are first going to... Well, we have a Mystic Ticket. Now that's rare. We'll be happy to take you to Navel Rock anytime. Would you like to board the Sea Gallop Ferry? I would. Before going there, I would like to go to 2 Islands. Okay, Repel. I didn't even know you were active. I mentioned before that the timer balls that are sold here are realistically not going to be that helpful. I also need to restock on these because I used all of them when I was hunting unknown. I sort of disagree with myself on that. I think with what we're about to face, it might be worth it to have a lot of timer balls. Repeat balls, no. I love the way these look. These are probably like tied for my favorite Pokeball design with a fastball, but no, not really that useful. But timer balls, they're gonna have some use coming up probably. With that, I'm going to organize my Pokeballs so I don't accidentally waste the Master Ball. There we go. That's better. Master Ball is all the way at the bottom, so I can never touch it without meaning to. Items should be good too. I need to reorganize my party. We don't need an HM user. Alright, now we're gonna go back to Vermilion because you have to sail here from Vermilion. You can't do it from the islands that are closer to it. Would you like to board the Sea Gallop Ferry? I would. Let's go to Navel Rock. Okay, everything's in order for you to board a special ferry. Sea Gallop High Speed 10 will be departing immediately. We got a hint back on Sevii Island that there are 10 high-speed ferries, so we finally know what the ones that he didn't know what were for are for. Navel Rock. We're heading in. I want to take a look at the town map. We can see that Navel Rock is between 4 Island and 5 Island. In Pokemon Emerald, if you go here, the Pokénav will simply say, area unknown. In FireRed and LeafGreen, we can see that Navel Rock is in fact still in the Sevii Islands. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's head inside. I'm trying to think, have we seen a cave that's pure white like this in this game? This might be exclusive to Navel Rock. There's no map description here, I guess. That's the only reason I was checking again. This is a big, empty cave. No wild Pokemon or anything, just a single ladder at the center. And then another one. This floor has a very, 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 very long hallway. Splitting paths. These go nowhere and have no items or anything at the end of them. Don't bother. This one too. Just keep going all the way to the end. On this side, there's a ladder going up. On this side, there's a ladder going down. We're going to be going down first. I wasn't looking at the capture, if you couldn't tell. From here, there is an additional 11 ladders we have to take to get down to where we're going. Still no wild Pokemon. It's just this the whole way down, baby. Any day now. Like, any day now. Here we are. Save. Alright, before heading into this, my notes tell me who I should lead with, which, yeah. Okay, so I want to lead with either Umi or Gaster. Who do I think would be better here? Honestly, probably... No, I want to lead with Lamp. I have a great idea. Trust me, it's great. Let's do this. Wild Lugia appeared. Lugia is an extremely versatile wall of a Pokemon, acting as both a major offensive and defensive threat. Its great bulk alongside pressure and tons of excellent utility moves like Toxic, Reflect, and Recover make it work incredibly well as a wall. And it also has incredibly strong attacks in Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Psychic, and its own signature move, Aero Blast. A 100 power flying type move with a high critical hit rate in exchange for only 95% accuracy, which it learns at level 77. However, Lugia's typing does leave it vulnerable to many common offensive types. Electric, Rock, Dark, Ice, and Ghost are all strong against Lugia, with only Dark being particularly uncommon for foes to use. However, it is a legendary Pokemon for a reason. Its stats are astoundingly high, and we're catching it at level 70. If you want to use a Lugia on your team, it gets an easy recommendation from me. There's very little bad to say about it, especially in single player. Alright, so my plan here is very funny. I'm going to use Grudge. Okay, keep doing that. I was honestly expecting Lamp to be faster. I don't know why, because she's 12 levels lower than it, but I want it to bear a grudge. I'm cooking. Let me cook. Okay. It looks like it knows what I'm planning. But hold on. This is gonna work. I swear it'll work. It's gonna work. Okay, yeah, recover that HP. You go, Lugia. Does Grudge need to be used on the same turn in order to work? Because we are slower than it. And it's just spam and recover. I'm thinking it might be too smart for this. Yeah, it's just going for Swift again. Okay. My plan was, I know this thing knows Hydro Pump, and that's the only thing that this thing knows that can possibly affect Gaster. So if I'm able to just deplete that PP instantly, Gaster can just sit out against this thing. And I kind of want that to be how this goes. Yes! Please work the way I want you to, Grudge. Please. Damn it! No! Okay, well, Grudge has to be used on the same turn, and she's faster, or slower, so I guess there was no chance of that working, but it could have been really cool. Anyway, Lugia is 14 levels higher than our entire team right now, so I'm not too concerned about knocking it out with any moves or anything. That did do more than I was anticipating. Nice paralysis, though. It has no way to heal that off. It only has a way to heal up its HP, so I will gladly take having that, like, done. Okay. Yeah, go for Swift. Why not? Keep going for that. Please. Be my guest. I think it's really cool being able to encounter Lugia like this. I think it's a little lame in a way that there's, like, this implies that there are multiple different versions of every legendary Pokemon, which makes sense. Like, there's canonically definitely more than one Mewtwo and everything. But with Lugia especially, Lugia is always considered, like, the guardian of the seas and everything, and for there to just be one hanging out in the Sevii Islands while there's also one at the Whirl Islands in Johto is interesting, I guess. I remember as a kid, I was always, like, just stuck on this idea that there's one of every legendary. The anime specifically, though, has several episodes featuring a baby Lugia and its mother, which means Lugia specifically actually has an excuse for this. In multiple continuities, there are multiple Lugia. As a kid, I just, like, I remember just watching the Pokemon movies and how cool all the legendary Pokemon are in the movies and how powerful they're always portrayed as. Surely there's only one of them, right? But no, there's several. I'm not a fan of it, though. I'll always be stuck in that mindset I had as a kid where it's just better if there's one. So the annoying part about legendary Pokemon that have the Psychic typing specifically is that they tend to be able to heal themselves up, which this Lugia is going to constantly do with Recover. So I'm gonna have to be using Thunderbolt occasionally between throwing Pokeballs, which is not fun. Okay, miss with Hydro Pump, sure. Once you're out of those, you have no way of hurting Gaster, so I will not complain about it. Please don't crit Gaster. I just want it down to decent HP. Okay, thanks for not critting, buddy. Can never be too sure. Because he is the GOAT. Okay. Keep throwing balls. One. Of course. I'm really just hoping that this is more of like a Generation 1 legendary encounter where like it gets in the ball instantly instead of a repeat of fucking Zapdos. 1, 2. Thought I had it immediately. I was so excited. Seeing 2 shakes when you're so used to getting like 0 to 1 shakes on legendary Pokemon is maybe the most painful thing in the world because you think, oh, that's definitely it. I caught it. And then, nope, this isn't Generation 1. That's not how it works. One thing I should mention, if you knock out Lugia here, it will respawn after you enter the Hall of Fame again. And if you run from it, it will respawn after you leave the area. So, I guess instead of killing it when you run out of balls, just run away, go buy more balls, and come back. Alright, by now I think I'm at the point where Timer Balls are going to be more effective than Ultra Balls, so let's start throwing those. Something interesting about the Timer Ball is that it has an unused frame of animation in both Ruby, Sapphire, and FireRed and LeafGreen. Not sure if it also carries over to Emerald, but in these games it does. Don't know why it's the only one that does, because none of the other Pokeballs do, but it's a thing to bring up. It's actually just spamming recover now. Fuck this Lugia. Yeah, it's literally, it's just spamming. Oh, it might be out of PP for everything else. That's bad, actually. Uh-oh. If it goes for recover after this, I'm pretty guaranteed, like, it's out of PP. Yeah, it's out of PP. Okay, this is very bad. Well, time to start throwing balls in case of emergency. Oh! But fucking bitch, dick, asshole! That was like maybe that was like the meanest string of insults I've put together, other than that time when I think I told Zapdos to kill itself, but like... No, it was just spamming recover for the fun of it. It was just trying to make me think it was out of PP for some fucking reason. Okay, have metronome, dude. Sure, I'll die to make you weaker. Attack harshly fell, special attack harshly fell. That's actually helpful, considering Gaster is out of PP for everything else, so... Excellent job as always, Gaster. Okay. Umi, your turn. I can just spam Ice Beam with you. Watch it just immediately start struggling now that Umi's out using Ice Beam against it. Okay, I was gonna say, if it's still doing that much after a drop from Memento, that is insane. But no, that was just bad luck. That was a critical hit. Okay, back down to red. No longer spamming recover, as far as I can tell. Timer ball. 1. Ah. Great. One, 2, 3. Yes! Oh, that didn't even take like 15 minutes. That's awesome. It is said that it quietly spends its time deep at the bottom of the sea because its powers are too strong. It knows it's too strong and it stays undersea to stay away from humans because it knows it's too dangerous. I really like Lugia. It's one of my favorite legendaries. We don't nickname them around these parts, though. We can't surf beyond here, but there is water. It doesn't even give you the text that the current's too fast. We're just, like, pretty high above it, and you just can't really tell because of the way the sprites are laid out. Something I want to note while I'm on my way back to a Pokemon Center to go heal before we take the ladder that goes up. Navel Rock is actually, like, it looks entirely different in Pokemon Emerald. The layout is, like, overall the same. I think it's technically bigger just because of how the tile sets are in Emerald compared to FireRed and LeafGreen, but instead of being, like, white and gray like it was at the bottom there, it's, like, green, and I think it looks a lot cooler. In the artwork, Robin was originally making it green like the Emerald version of Navel Rock, but we ultimately decided that we'd rather go with the colors that are actually used in FireRed and LeafGreen. More on that later, by the way, if you're confused. Heading back to Navel Rock. Let's go. It's a little disappointing that there's no, like, unique splash art for Navel Rock like there is for caves in the Kanto and Sevii region and Sevii Islands, but I also understand it. It would be unfair if it appeared in FireRed and LeafGreen and not Emerald. Altering cave. This time, we're going to be heading up. Only like 6 ladders this time. That's a little disappointing. How come Lugia gets special treatment? Alright. Before heading up, I'm going to save because I don't know if it's going to force me into the battle or not. My notes don't say to actually lead with anything this time, so I guess I'll lead with what seems logical to me, which is still Lamp. Sorry, Gaster, I guess you're forever stuck being 2 levels lower than everyone else. Well, we aren't actually defeating anything in this video, so that makes sense, actually. Let's go. Isn't that so cool? How it just instantly makes the sky light up. Wild Ho-Oh appeared. The second legendary box art Pokemon of Johto appears to greet us. Ho-Oh is yet another excellent Pokemon, though in this case it sacrifices its defense and speed for much higher attack and special attack. First things first, Ho-Oh learns Calm Mind, making it a deceptively powerful special attacker. This, paired with Leftovers and Recover to let it stick around for large swaths of any given battle, Thunderbolt for coverage, and signature move Sacred Fire, a move with identical power and accuracy to Aeroblast, with a 50% chance to burn that also thaws the user if it's frozen. Yeah, it makes the wait for level 77 worth it. Ho-Oh is an absolute powerhouse with a set like this, and if that doesn't suit your fancy, Ho-Oh can learn Shadow Ball and Earthquake to take advantage of that massive attack stat. Play carefully with it. A single Rock Slide will spell the end for Ho-Oh against a competently leveled opponent, but aside from that, there's very little bad to say about Ho-Oh. Easily the strongest fire flying type available in this game. So I know I said starting with Lamp, like, made the most sense to me. Why did that make the most sense to me? It has pressure, so I can use Flamethrower, but this is gonna do nothing to it. Look at that damage. Because of Flash Fire, I guess? I guess I can waste its Fire Blast PP this way? Sure. Ho-Oh is a Pokemon that I think is interesting. Ho-Oh is actually the only Pokemon that was designed to be a box art legendary for Pokemon Gold and Silver. It was going to be the mascot for both originally, which makes sense why it was also the first, like, Johto Pokemon to appear in the anime, appearing in the very first episode. Lugia was originally designed for the movie Pokemon 2000, and the creator was sort of bummed out that Lugia was used in the games because he wanted it to be exclusive to the games, and Lugia's, like, gender and everything are also in question because Lugia was originally supposed to be sort of a feminine Pokemon, and that is not how that movie took it. At least not in the dub. I don't know if it did in the original version, but there's a lot of sad stuff related to Ho-Oh, well, Lugia, not Ho-Oh, but it makes it a little interesting just knowing that Ho-Oh is the only Pokemon that was actually intended to be a box art legendary in Generation 2. Navel Rock is the only way to get the box art legendaries from Generation 2 into Generation 3 outside of playing Pokemon Colosseum for Ho-Oh and XD for Lugia. So, yeah, you kind of have to play these games to get these Pokemon, which is a little unfortunate. Does this thing not have an attacking move other than Fire Blast? Because it has only used Fire Blast in Sunny Day. If so, Lamp, you were made for this. I do not regret leading with you, actually. It's a little unfortunate we don't have a move to put it to sleep like we would have in Generation 1, just because sleep moves are so much less effective in this generation, but I think we'll probably be fine. Hopefully, maybe. It really is just sitting here struggling. Not using struggle, thank God, but it doesn't seem like it actually has anything it can do to Lamp. I'm just gonna be here mashing the A button for, never mind, it has Recover. Okay. I said in its bio that it has Recover, and for legendary Pokemon, I record the bios live, so I knew it had that. Because why would it learn that any later or earlier than Lugia? They're, like, counterparts. Of course, their, like, learn sets are gonna look similar on paper as far as the levels they learn stuff. I don't know. Whatever. Thunderbolt, can we get a paralysis and not kill it, please, Gaster? I know its defenses are higher than Lugia, so maybe... Okay. No paralysis. That's fine. You're doing your best. Can you not kill it again? Hopefully. Yes. No paralysis. Okay, that's fine. It's down to red at least. I'm not really too worried about knocking this out since I saved in front of it, and, like, I don't know. I've reached a point where if it's not as bad as Zapdos, it's fine. We have a lot more options for Pokeballs now than we did against Zapdos 2. Oh my god, actually, Lamp just saved our ass. It does have Swift, but it can't use it against Gaster. So it just wasted all of its Fire Blast against Lamp. I'll take it. Okay. Just keep using Swift, dude. Don't use Recover. That would be stupid. Never mind. It's using Recover. Wistfully remembering a time when Pokemon that weren't Mewtwo didn't use Recover. I guess Porygon also did, but, you know. You didn't encounter that in the wild. 1. That was the first shake in like 12 Pokeballs, I think, so we are making some progress. 12 might be a little bit of an exaggeration. 1. Okay. Gaster, no! Only 1,000 experience points for that? That wouldn't even have been worth it for experience. Attempt number 2, doing the exact same thing. Like, I can't even include clips of me counting disappointedly because it keeps shaking 0 times. There's no content to come of that. I don't think a single ball has shaken a single time on the second attempt. Like, it genuinely is just not... It's not interested. 1. Oh, my heart jumped seeing that. Even just a single shake. That's all I needed, is just a little bit of generosity. Yes, use Recover. Let me use super effective moves on you. Thank you. This is what I wanted all along, Ho-Oh. Yes. It did like the perfect amount where it won't kill if it doesn't crit again, too. Oh, Ho-Oh. He's giving me a little bit of generosity. Nope. Never mind. Never fucking mind. He's not giving me any generosity at all. Oh, it's spamming Recover again. Okay. Glad you're at least telegraphing what you're doing. Like, you're making it blatantly fucking obvious. I appreciate that. I'm not always the best at taking context clues. 1. 1. No. 1, 2, 3. No! Dick! Breaking out just to use Recover? Fuck! Oh yeah, use it twice! It seems like whenever a wild Pokemon is using Recover, they're gonna use it twice just to get to full health, because why the fuck not? 1. Yeah. I agree. Killed it. Well, I've already been recording longer for Ho-Oh than I was for Lugia, so I guess I need to lock in, get ready for this. I'm using Gaster in the front, I'm just gonna start right away using Thunderbolt, trying to get a paralysis off on it. Didn't get the paralysis, and I used Thunderbolt 5 fucking times, so... Just was not meant to be, I guess. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Don't give me hope. Don't. Just don't shake it all. It's better than shaking 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Yes! 5 Ultra Balls that time. And that was instantly after. Okay. Legends claim this Pokemon flies the world's skies continuously on its magnificent 7-colored wings. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count 4 colors. And I'm pretty sure 2 of those are just, like, differences in shading. So, sure, rainbow Pokemon. Give a nickname to the captured Ho-Oh? No, we don't name these around these parts. After capturing or defeating Ho-Oh, step onto the tile where it stood and use the item finder. The item finder's shaking wildly. There's an item buried underfoot. Winter dug up one sacred ash from deep in the ground, even though the ground is solid rock. Sacred ash revives all fainted Pokemon, restoring HP fully. This is basically a Pokemon Center that doesn't restore PP. It's pretty cool. However, this is the only one in the game, so why would you ever use it? Like, maybe before a champion battle or, like, in a worst-case scenario, but it's such a rare item, it just feels wrong to use it. This is also on this tile in Pokemon Emerald, but you just need to interact with it since the dowsing machine does not work the same way as Kanto's item finder. However, in Emerald, Ho-Oh also comes holding Sacred Ash, so you get 2. Talk about unfair. You don't get 2 in FireRed and LeafGreen. That is the final super secret item with the item finder. And it's locked behind a timed event. Awesome. I mentioned before that this artwork for this video was made by Robin VA. Robin VA for a long time has been something I've talked about as a second channel, and it's always sort of been that way. However, in the past year, it has not been so. This is not really the place where I want to go too in detail about plurality and everything surrounding it. But I want to be able to credit Robin fairly for doing that artwork, because it was not me. So I'm just gonna drop that here, not expand on it. I'm Winter, Robin's Robin, that's it. Anyway, with that thing that made my fucking heart explode, welcome to the outside of Navel Rock because we're leaving. Ahoy there, where do you want to sail? Vermilion City is up next. With that, you may think, oh, well, surely we've explored all the Sevii Islands now. Well... Navel Rock is in the middle of 5 Island and 4 Island. And there doesn't appear to be anything else here. However, on the official artwork of 6 Island and 7 Island, there is a separate island to the south of 7 Island, or 6 Island. So, what's that all about? You know what that's all about. There's a second event island. So next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we're going to be talking about the second event island in the Sevii Islands. See you guys then.